and welcome to a long overdue sketchbook tour. First up, I think this video is going to be very long, so I'm trying to keep it short, but as you can see it's quite a thick one and I still want to take the time to document it. So yeah, just sit back, relax and listen to me ramble on. The sketchbook itself was incredibly cheap. It was like $5 from our local grocery store. It's already broken here, and the paper was really thin, but I wanted to have a sketchbook where I really would feel no pressure whatsoever, and you will see there are a lot of ugly drawings in here. I think it's healthy from time to time to just let loose with your art and don't worry about ruining a nice sketchbook, but I have to admit, after finishing this one I was happy to start one that was a little bit fancier just because of the paper quality. Anyways, the cover is decorated as always with stickers and a little photo I thrifted. I started this in November, so I thought it would be nice to have like a wintry theme to the sketchbook. Yeah, and here on the back are just stickers from my art friends. It also has a little bit of water damage, but that's not a problem. So here is just random stuff. I got these dinosaur stamps in my advent calendar, my business cards. This was the old design, this was the new one. Changed up a little bit, my logo that I stamp on envelopes, like spreads that I wanted to do. And yeah, this is the official first page. I started it in November and finished it in May. So yeah, really long overdue. It's August now, but I just want to document my journey. The first page is really simple. I just drew my my pencil case. I got it at the museum. It has a lot of dinosaurs on it and I love it. Yeah, and some of my utensils. Okay, the first spread is already my favorite one. It's just bees and bones and I love this spread, and my friend loved it as well, so she asked me if I could redraw it for her, and I did, and it's somehow kind of like the first original that I sold, which is really cool, and I just love it. I mean, insects and bones, it doesn't get better than that. And here I wrote Queen of Long Torso because I accidentally elongated it a lot, but I really love this page. Here are just some notes about maybe originals I could draw, and here documenting my day. Cats, the thing here. Already no more pressure to make the sketchbook pretty, because yeah, it's just some scribbles. Here are some sketches. A friend of mine traveled to Iceland and he sent me some photos and asked me if I could paint one of them, and here are just some sketches. I like them, they're in color pencil. I like the texture from the paper. Some, I guess, value studies, I'm not sure. I try to paint things with gray watercolor without like doing any outlines. I think it worked well with the birch trees here, but the other ones was just an experiment. Some wobbly figures. Anatomy is still really hard for me, but I like the sketching style with like adding gray shadows. It makes it look a little bit more like I put effort into it. Yeah. Some very, very quick watercolor practices. I tried to test layering watercolor and really push my patience. Yeah, and I started working a lot in watercolor not only in the sketchbook but also with like finished projects, and it's becoming one of my favorite mediums, which I never thought would be possible because I'm really impatient, but I like it. Some wobbly hands, again with the brush pens. Trying to figure out anatomy, failed. Yeah. Faces from different angles, not really great again. I gave the Loomis method another go, but I don't know, I just never... at this stage it looks really cool and like expressive, but then once I finish the face it just looks stiff. I'm not sure. This is cute, and it's almost hard to look at because right now it's so hot and it's like 30 degrees in my room, and this makes me miss winter so much. But these were just some wintry sketches from reference pictures I took outside, and it was all covered in snow. Some flower sketches, more flower sketches, and I am trying to figure out like the watercolors, like the pigments that I want to have for like a very limited color palette for traveling. Yeah, so I just wrote down some of the pigments that I would like to include, but I haven't done that yet. Some pigeons. I am writing a paper or working on a illustrated paper for school right now about pigeons. So these were just some practice sketches. I think this one is cute, but I overworked the other ones. But I love pigeons. Very bad pencil sketches from stuff that was lying on my desk. This is cute. This is like watercolor and then details with colored pencils on top, which is one of my favorite techniques of all time. Yeah. Some fun bugs or beetles with fountain pen. I would love to work more with fountain pen, but usually like this paper just was too structured, or it just didn't take the ink very well, and so it took forever to really get it done. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun spread. Beetles are always cool. Some animals with colored pencils. I like the spread. It's far from perfect, but I think they turned out quite expressive, like the shapes are something that I really want to explore more often. I like it. Some black and white animals, again with colored pencil. Here I was testing out, I had gotten a watercolor set of like skin tones a while back, and I found them again, and I really need to use them more often, but here I just did some patterns. Here, same thing, just swatching some watercolor pencils. I have done a couple of pieces with those, and I like them a lot, but these pieces are just not quite it. And gouache, this is actually, I had used the Miyahime gouache, like the jelly cups, a lot, but then I revisited the Caran-d'Ache gouache. It's a hard word, but I almost like these ones better, and they're always available in my country, like refills, and so I almost only use these ones now. Just some landscapes and what are these called? A tardigrade. Yeah, a water bear. Yes. Morning inspiration, a leek, and brush pen and colored pencils. This is absolutely not my style, but I love the spread because it looks so like planned out, and I don't know, it was just a brush pen and utensils from my desk, but I really like it. Then celebrated New Year's apparently. Just some New Year's Eve tradition around the world. It's my favorite holiday, and I always try to make it special here with the gold paint. Yeah. Here I was planning for some lino prints. I think I did these 3 prints, the hand as well, and yeah, I haven't done the other ones, but these 4 are lino prints, and you can check them out on Instagram and maybe buy one if you'd like. Yeah, I need to do more lino prints again. It's one of my favorite mediums. Here I got from my boyfriend the Carandash Neocolor pastels, and here I was just testing them out. Some animals, my goddaughter's hand when I first met her, and I don't really use them a lot like this, like just the pastels, but I use them a lot to add texture onto like watercolor or gouache paintings. And some more with the pastels. Here I try to make like one of those study pages, or like, yeah, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't quite look right. I don't know if it's the colors I used, or maybe it kind of looks muddy. I don't know. But it was about the Dreikönigskuchen, the tradition where you have like the kind of bread, like the sweet bread, and you find the little king. I'm not sure. It's only in these countries, so I don't know if you celebrate it, but it's a nice holiday. I really like this bread. This is a thing that I often do just to warm up. I divide the page and then make quick sketches just of like things in my camera roll. There's really not a lot of pressure. Yeah, and again with the gray brush pen, I really love adding shadows like that. I think it just looks a little bit more professional than if you just did it in black. Here a list of my art goals in 2024. Yeah, works in progress to finish, what I need to buy, admin stuff, and adventures. Yeah, haven't done all of it yet by far, but yeah. This is again something like in my current sketchbook, like the little bit fancier one, I wouldn't waste a page for this, but in this one I didn't mind, and I thought it's nice to have it all in one place. Here I bought like a calligraphy fountain pen, and it's, again, this paper just isn't made for fountain pen, but I would like to use it more often. This is the Pentel Pocket Brush Pen, which is really cool, but yeah, I don't use it that much, but I think this skull is fun. This is where I used like color pencils on top of gouache, another one of my favorite techniques. And the painting itself is inspired by one of my favorite artists on YouTube. Her name is Shania Bo. She makes German videos, and she always adds like these little fairy lights in her paintings, and I think it's just so cute, so I was inspired by her. Here I went to the museum. Usually I sketch a lot more in the museum, but I just wasn't quite feeling it, and I was a little bit stressed, but I allowed myself to leave spreads unfinished. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's the museum I go to the most, so I just really, I know it by heart, and so yeah, it's not that it's boring, but it's just I wasn't feeling too well. Ooh, sorry, I just got excited, but this one is one of my favorite pieces in the sketchbook, not because it's really good, but again, I just wasn't that inspired at the museum, and so I just decided to sit down and draw one more thing, and then leave. It was already close to closing. And so I really quickly drew this. And then a little boy, he was maybe like 2 or 3, I don't know, and he was watching me, and he was really like watching me paint, and I was working so fast, and then eventually he turned to his mom and said, "Oh, it's like magic." And I thought that was just so cute, and it was like the highest praise I could ever get. And yeah, so I wrote that down here. So even though it's not a great piece, it's just a really fond memory. Some more planning for like a logo and stuff from the... Oh yes, this year I went to the Fantasy Basel, which is like a big convention here in Switzerland. So I was planning some things for that. Some more flowers and tulips, I think that my dad got me. Some color pencil animals. More very wobbly figures. And more wobbly figures. I always give them like funny faces because it makes it easier to practice, because it's something that I always try to avoid, to practice figures, but I should do it more often. Here are some sketches that I did for a commission. A friend of mine is writing a book, and I get to illustrate like one of the beasts in the book, and more notes on that. But it's hard because I'm not really like I don't really like do illustrations of like original characters, so I only just practice with pictures of like real wolves, but it needs to look like more like a beast wolf. But it's fun. I should finish it. Yeah. Here I cooked with salmon, and I took a picture of it and then painted it in gouache. It's not like my usual thing to do, but from time to time it's just fun to paint something mundane in like colorful colors. This is a spread planning for a collaboration that I did with 3 other artists. I'm like in a group chat on Instagram with a couple of artists, and from time to time we do like an art challenge, and this time we agreed on all of us painting a clouded leopard and using only these 4 colors, which was really fun. And I decided to practice my watercolor skills. And yeah, this isn't the finished piece, but here are just some more sketches, like which reference I should take. I used this reference picture. Yeah, it was a fun challenge. Some animal skulls, my lovely animal skulls. In the meantime, I have painted these 3 skulls for my oil painting series. If you don't know, I paint animal skulls in oil. Yeah, I don't know, I just think it's fascinating. This is me, kind of a face reveal here. This is a self-portrait, and right here next to it I'm really obsessed with the show Bones, and so I try to imagine, like, this is really weird, but what my skull would look like, you know? And so it's obviously not correct, but I try to like line up just the features, and I also googled how the skull of a younger white woman would look like, and so I try to match it. I don't know. I love the spread. I love the idea, but it doesn't quite look like me. My eyes are a little bit closer together in real life. Yeah. Here We discussed genetics in school, and I was fascinated by Mendel and his experiments with the peas. But unfortunately, that was all the motivation I had for the topic, and genetics was really awful to study. But the sketchbook spread is nice. Here is the technique where I use gouache and then put like the old pastels, the neocolor on top, just to add some texture. And I really love like the scribbly lines. This is just a photo from my cat on a tree. His little paws. Practicing wolves for the commission for my friend, but yeah, haven't really worked on it since. I should really get it done. Yeah. I planned some original paintings for the fantasy puzzle to sell, and I painted these 3 paintings, and these 2 I actually sold, which was very, very, very cool. Yeah, I have a lot of tiny thrifted frames, and I love just painting something for them. Yeah, I think it's much cooler than the other way around, than to paint something and then find the perfect frame for it, because that can be difficult. So yeah. Here are some neocolors. Yeah, just a coral reef and some fish, like really colorful. Nothing I do a lot as well, but I think I just wanted to relax and do something where I didn't have to think that much. Wobbly animals with the brush pens. Did you know that a moose looks like this from the front? It's like so freaky, like these legs are way too long, but I swear it's what he looked like in the reference. Yeah. Some more animals. This one is cute. I like the bear. Again, I just love this way of sketching. It's just really no pressure at all. It looks fun. Here are some animals, or no, they're not all insects, but you know, creepy crawlies that actually got donated to the thrift store I work at. Like, they were taxidermied. Yeah, and so I took a picture and drew them. Same with these ones. It was a taxidermy bat and a Goliath beetle. And I was this close to buying it, but I couldn't justify spending the money because I would just use it as a reference, and I had taken a reference picture, and so yeah. So I didn't buy it, and it's gone now, but it's okay. More figures. Again, I was just allowing myself to leave some empty space in the sketchbook. This, I love the spread. This one here is from this is my great aunt. My parents went to visit her, and I don't know, I extremely rarely draw people that I know because it's always hard to get them to look like the person that they are. But I think it looks quite like her. And then this is my friend, the one that commissioned me. He is a part-time actor, and so we went to see him, and then this is him in one of his costumes. So yeah, I like the look of like just the graphite sketches, and something that I'm now doing a lot more recently. Here I thought maybe animals would be easier to draw if I like divide them into these shapes, like these. I used to have a book like how to draw animals, and it would always tell you to like get the shapes down first. Yeah, but they don't look good, but that's okay. Yeah, same with people. This method doesn't make bodies easier, it doesn't, but it was fun to practice. Ooh, this is one. This is such a cool animal. It's in German it's like dagger stab pigeon, but I think in English it's a bleeding heart dove, and they're really beautiful, and they're like bluish gray, and then they have a white chest, and then on the chest they have just like a spot of red, and it really looks like they've been shot. But I think it's so interesting that an animal like this exists. But yeah. Here are some more plans for like original paintings. I had made a painting of a monkey that my boyfriend saw on vacation, and I just love the style with watercolor and colored pencils on top. And here are some more animals that I want to paint in this style. Here I then went to the Museum of History. Normally I always go to the Museum of Natural History, but yeah, my friend, he's a history nerd, and so we went to the Museum of History, and they had an exhibition about bronze, which was really exciting. And yeah, here are some sketches of dinosaurs. My pen was running out, but I think they look dynamic, even though his head is cut off. It's fine. And I did this to prepare, because then we went to the dinosaur museum. Another friend of mine and her son, we went to the dinosaur museum, and it's wonderful. I'm always so happy at museums. Yeah, and I really like the sketches. I mostly sketch with colored pencils nowadays. Like, there's one, I think this is the one. It's like, it's not quite brown and it's not quite black, but it's just like a warm, lighter black. I don't know, but it's one of my favorite colors for sketching. And this is also from the Dinosaur Museum with gouache and then neocolors on top. I'm going to try to pronounce it. It's the Pachycephalosaurus, I think. Yeah, the one with the hard head. And then it was my birthday, and my birthday wish was to go to a museum again. It was really fun. It has like natural history, archaeology and history exhibitions, and yeah, just did some sketches there. Oh, I thought I drew more, but I didn't. But I love museums. Here I was testing out some graphite pencils, because I usually sketched in 4H, because I thought it would smudge a little bit less, but honestly, depending on the paper, but honestly they all smudge, so I might as well take like a 2B that shows up a little bit better. And yeah, here's just some hyenas. A very random page with colorful blobs. This took me forever, and it's not even like my style or something that I want to explore further, but sometimes it's just good to get some color on the page. Some fruits, I think with watercolor and neocolors again. Here I was like cleaning my brushes on the paper, and then just did some plants and mushrooms on top. Oh, this is one of my favorite pages again. This is with the Pentel Pocket Brush Pen. It's just some two creepy things. I think this one is called like Mary Lude, I think. Someone on Instagram told me about it, and I thought it was a really interesting figure to draw. And here is a two-headed lamb. Something that I'm always also interested in. Yeah, it's a little creepy, but like in a good way, I think. Oh, this is maybe somebody from Switzerland will recognize these, but this was one of my favorite movies as a child, and I still love it. But it's like the story about a badger and a hedgehog, and they're like puppets, like, you know, with the strings on it, and they go on an adventure, and then they meet the pirates, and I don't know, it's a weird story, but I love it so much. It's just such a part of my childhood. And yeah, this one actually can show you. First I fucked up the face. Sorry, but it looked so creepy, and so I had to redo it because he's a very, very sweet guy. Yeah, that's just an homage to this story. I love it. This is again from the museum, from one of the pictures I took. This is like one of those discs that show like the night sky, and I think it's really pretty, like in real life, and I think my drawing of it turned out quite well also. Some animals with like, I have like, I'm not sure if it's fine liner, I think it's just a fine liner. Yeah, and then some of them colored with brush pens. Some bird anatomy, because as I said, I am illustrating a paper about pigeons, birds, and there are just things about birds that are really hard to get, like the shape of the body, and then how the beak connects to the face, and like the tail, and where the eye goes. Basically everything about it is hard, but I'm learning. It's fun. I like birds. Some animals from the zoo thing that I went to with my friend, and here is like the river that goes by it. Oh, that's already the last page. This looks really muddy, but I still like it. This was my cat fell asleep on my book, and this is with gouache, I think, and then neocolors on top of it. Again, it's really muddy, but honestly I just wanted to fill this sketchbook, so I didn't try that hard, but it's still cute because my cat is cute. And here in the back are just some swatches. Here is a list of like artists and illustrators that I admire and artists that I want to buy from if I ever have money again. Yeah. And here are some more swatches of alcohol markers. Actually, this year I finally tried to use them again. So yeah. And here I already had to fix the sketchbook. But it's fine, it held up until it was full. And yeah, as I said, my current one, it's a little bit fancier one with like toned paper. It's almost filled, so maybe this next tour will come a little bit sooner. But yeah, until then, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!